Hey guys, so here we are in complex numbers, and this is part 4 kind of complex numbers, and we're going to divide complex numbers. Now, just like we did with radicals, when we divided by radicals, we just want a nice pretty number in the bottom because we know how to divide it into 2 pieces, but we don't know how to divide it into 3 plus 4i pieces. Well, we need to talk about what the conjugate of a complex number is. It's exactly the same, except we're just changing the sign in the middle, or the sign of the complex number. And it's super important here that you actually do that so you don't end up with a negative number in the bottom. You'll end up with a nice pretty positive number in the bottom if you multiply by the complex conjugate. Okay, so these are called complex conjugates in case you missed that. Okay, the product of a complex conjugate is it's a positive real number. Okay, so we're going to find the complex conjugates for the following, and I'm going to show you what happens when we multiply them. So we've got 3 plus 4i. The complex conjugate here is 3 minus 4i. So if I multiply these two numbers together, so I've got 3 plus 4i times 3 minus 4i, got 9. This would be 12i. This would be negative 12i. And this would be negative 16i squared. And if you remember, I squared just makes that positive. So then we end up with 9 plus 16, which is 25. But then if you notice, we've got negative 12i plus 12i. And so when I multiply them together, I end up with this nice, pretty number that's really just the two numbers squared. That's a big hint. So let's do this. Let's say what the complex conjugate of this is. So it's going to be 2. And then it's a minus sign in the middle, so now it's going to be a plus sign in the middle, 5i. And if I multiplied that together, I would end up with a 4 plus 25, so 29. Kind of cool, huh? Makes it a lot easier later. Okay, so right here, I want you to go ahead and give it a try of figuring out what those complex conjugates are. And if you want to push yourself a little further, try to figure out what that number times its conjugate would be, what that number would be.